so great times. Canada's being called out on its BS, really, by the US ambassador to Canada, who is revealing that the country's actually, well, I shouldn't say the country, but our leadership under the fairly newly minted Prime Minister Mark Carney, they're disavowing and kind of disregarding guardrails that are in place with our trade agreements. They call it CUSMA, but I like to refer to it as the USMCA, the
It's
US,
just easier
Mexico,
to say.
Canada. Yeah, it really is. It flows nicer. So that's the trade agreement that was established, I think, back in 2019.
28. Yeah, in and around then. It was negotiated by Chrystia Freeland of all people. So
Yeah, it's been in place for a few years now. And so this tariff trade war escalation, the US has upheld their part of the USMCA, and Canada not so much. Have a listen to this.
I would maybe add, we've been nicer to Canada at this point than Canada has been to the U.S.
Would you say from what you're seeing, what you're hearing, is there any areas in Canada that have made the current negotiation approach harder to reach a mutually beneficial agreement?
Oh, yeah, I think some of the retaliatory tariffs to the U.S. Are a huge irritant. We have protected the integrity of CUSMA. Okay, our negotiators have said we are not going to implement tariffs on any products that are covered under CUSMA. Canadians have said those guardrails are off. I think since April, they have been tariffing U.S. products that are part of the CUSMA agreement. Okay, the products that are covered under CUSMA are they're going into the U.S. tariff-free, and the ones going north are covered or now have this, I think, 25% tariff on them. Okay, and so what it means is, I know from American companies, they're saying, hey, we're basically going into Canada and we can't sell because we've got a 25% tariff, while our Canadian competitors are coming into the U.S. with no tariffs at all. You put that together with the actions of your provinces, where they're saying, in certain cases, they're saying, all right, we're going to first buy product from our province. If the product from our province is not available, we are going to buy Canadian. If there's not a Canadian product available, we're going to buy international. And if there's not an international product available, then we may finally consider buying American, or maybe not buying at all. Okay, I think, that the Canadians have gone on those issues, they've gone significantly further than where the U.S. has gone. Canada is calling into question the future of CUSMA. It's not the United States of America. It's Canada.
Yeah, it's a really interesting kind of take and angle that I haven't heard before. And just wanted to throw to that being from Jasmine Lane, the host of the Over Opinionated podcast. And I think this deserves a bit of a deeper dive, as always. But I think Canada has played a key role. And by Canada, again, I mean supposed leaders like Mark Carney and the likes of liberal adjacent Premier of Ontario, allegedly progressive conservative Doug Ford, who has escalated these tensions by their ridiculous rhetoric spewed out in press releases and to the media. Instead of calling up the president and saying, hey, let's work out a deal. When are we meeting? What's going on here? Going straight to the source, they're all playing high school antics. Like, oh, she said we're going to play telephone here, make sure that this reaches them in some distorted way, instead of getting straight to the point and acting like real leaders and taking that first step to initiate real, fruitful trade discussions and work out the best deal for all of us.
Yeah, I mean, on the show yesterday, we talked about Doug Ford and his like, oh, speaking on behalf of 41 million Canadians, and like Albertans are like, the hell you're speaking for us.
I'm even like, wait, no.
Yeah, who appointed him? The trade ambassador to the Americans. And if somebody did, he's not the right man for the job. I just wish in this it had been pointed out. And I think the ambassador sort of prefaced his words there. He said some provinces, because you're not talking about us here in Alberta. We're not doing this. When all the other provinces, including Ontario, were saying that we were traitors for not cutting off oil and gas or stopping trade, or that we were traitors for even doing trade missions to speak directly to the Republican lawmakers on this stuff. We were called traitors, but we have not done this like go internationally instead of dealing with American stuff. We're not doing that here. And this just shows one of those things where you have Albertans saying, once again, our Laurentian elites and their enablers like Doug Ford, they are harming our economy when we're doing everything to the contrary. And I'm sort of glad the ambassador made a distinction there when he said some, or I would even say most provinces, but he didn't name us by name, but we have not been participating in this absolute nonsense.
Yeah, I definitely took note when he mentioned that. And I was like, okay, he is making it very clear that not everyone is on board, as Doug Ford seems to claim
Right.
in front of the podium. He's like, oh, the only thing Trump has done is united Canada and Canadians more than ever before. And I'm like, what kind of out to lunch?
We're trying to leave
world.
over here.
Yeah, like where are you even coming from, Doug Ford? Who is advising you? And are you not paying attention to the world?
It's like we don't even exist. Well, it's like we don't even exist. Like we're actively trying to leave.
Yeah, I'm like, was Danielle Smith not just at your cottage? Like, were you guys, did you have that many drinks that you forgot? Anyway.